Well, it's certainly one of the technologies that's been critical in helping government agencies lower their costs is virtualization. And virtualization is a significant factor in cost savings at the infrastructure level, enabling server consolidation, and then further to enable data center consolidation, big dollar savings there. At the application level, virtualizing applications, which makes them more mobile, which helps them in a consolidation strategy to execute that more smoothly. And then also virtualization at the desktop level, which is also saving money, but also providing other benefits to federal agencies. So virtualization is a big factor from a technology standpoint in helping agencies save money. I also think that, for example, big data, and the ability to more appropriately and effectively manage the data across a highly distributed, server farm is another critical technology that enables not only cost savings, but perhaps more importantly, the ability for agencies' missions to continue to be carried out as the volume of data continues to grow and is overtaking the power and the performance capabilities of traditional database management systems. So big data, and particularly distributed data management and memory-based caching, is a big technology for dollar savings across the government right now as well. I would say also, the third would be like mobile technologies. And I think mobile technologies have the potential to save perhaps even more on the upside than what traditionally technology could do. And by that I mean when you look at the federal government's IT budget, at around $20 billion, that is, or $80 billion, I mean, when you look at the federal government's IT budget, while that's a substantial amount, it's still only about 3 to 4% of the total government's budget. So the way to save real big money across government is to make the programs and the mission elements of government more effective and more efficient. And mobile technology has the promise of doing that if the mobile technology is used in combination with virtualization and even the distributed data management and then application modernization brought all together to enable the mobile workforce to carry out their business of government using mobile devices. That makes them much more productive, which then would save way more money than just IT savings alone. So it's not just doing IT more efficiently, it's doing the mission of government more efficiently, which really has the potential to save a lot more money, potentially up to 5 or 10 times as much as just IT savings alone. The first is to be innovative, in terms of the use of these technologies. We're seeing a lot of concern about the use of cloud computing and virtualization, for example, from a risk management standpoint, right? So what best practice would be there is to practice a holistic risk management approach as part of your transition to enable the agencies to not only manage that risk, but perhaps even lower the risk during a migration so that they end up in a lower risk state than perhaps even when they started. They have the opportunity to make that kind of a transition. Second, I would see, is to consider the bigger picture. It's not just about the technology. The best practice is to consider it a transformational initiative and to address the bigger picture organizational issues along with the technology issues, and even modernize and streamline their business processes in the practice, in the process of making this transition. So if agencies just look at it from a technology standpoint, they might actually successfully implement the technology, but the bigger picture of how it's used and the effectiveness of the organization might actually decline. So if they take a bigger picture transitional approach, manage that change, and particularly streamline their own core processes, they'll be much better off and more successful as a result. There's a couple of areas. I would say we can boil them down to 3 areas where the government's IT can really save money. One is in the infrastructure, and we've seen an effort already underway there, but I would still say that definitely less than half, maybe even only a third of the potential savings there has been realized. So there's more savings to be captured out of infrastructure virtualization, continued consolidation at the infrastructure level. Two is in the application level itself. And from the application standpoint, I see two potential ways to save money. First is to virtualize these applications. So the business critical applications like database servers, email engines, collaboration environments, CRM suites, ERP suites, and even other core mission custom applications. All of these applications can be virtualized, which will substantially lower the cost of operating and maintaining those applications and improve their performance by taking advantage of a robust, resilient, virtualized infrastructure. So it'll improve their performance and lower the cost at the same time. Now remember that half of the total government's IT budget is spent on managing legacy applications. So there's a lot of potential savings in that layer as well. So the third area is in the mobile enablement, as I kind of referred to earlier, is by tapping into a more efficient way of allowing federal agencies and federal employees to carry out their jobs. They can make the federal employees much more productive, and by increasing productivity by a substantial amount, they can at least get more work done, but more importantly, lower cost as well. So they can lower costs in three different levels of the IT environment, if you will, at the infrastructure level, at the application level, and even at the endpoint device level.